Hello all. I'm going to do a book review today on a book that I've recently purchased and read and added to my bookshelf. And it's about a topic that I was not familiar with at all, well, in general terms. And the book is called The Death of Billy the Kid. And I'm sure we've all heard of Billy the Kid, you know, the outlaw from the Wild West. But as far as the details leading up to his death, I knew nothing about. And what I did know was probably influenced by Hollywood or, well, yeah, just mainly Hollywood. Because I've never studied Billy the Kid, you know, probably heard about him in school, but this was something totally new to me. And anyway, let me introduce the book first, before I go too far. It's called Death of Billy the Kid. Now, this book was written, if I remember right, in 1919. Originally, it says it was first presented by Deputy John W. Poe. He was instrumental in the events leading up to Billy the Kid's death, him and Sheriff Pat Garrett. But in this book, in this version, it has been annotated and expanded and full of illustrations by Josh W. Slatten. If you're like me and know nothing about Billy the Kid, I think this is a great introduction to his story, because it talks a bit about his early life, but it also, as you know, as the title says, deals with his death, which I, again, knew nothing about. So, as you read this, you're reading John Poe's first-hand account of what was happening during the time of their tracking, locating, and killing of Billy the Kid. But what you get in this, on top of that, is the expanded annotations by Josh Slatten, where he goes into much more detail that is left out in the original, details that have been learned since then. He compares the stories told by Mr. Poe versus Mr. Garrett's versions of the events, along with other publications that have came out both of that time and since. So you gain a lot more insight into what happened besides just John Poe's narrative of how he saw the events. And I like that because Mr. Slatten breaks down a lot of the things that Poe says, again, as I say, comparing him to other writers, and it looks at the inconsistencies of the different stories and where they mesh, and tries to give a more detailed or more, I'm looking for the word, thorough, that's not it either, but it gives you a deeper understanding and more of a wider view and different angles of the story and how different people saw it. In the process of the annotations, Mr. Slatten again compares the different stories and gives you some insight on why he believes one or the other may be correct, and sometimes presents the facts and lets you be the judge, which I enjoyed that. Mr. Slatten was very thorough on the details that he's added. As a researcher myself, I really appreciate that and respect that from a author and a researcher. Photographs in this are amazing, and they, you know, he has a lot of pictures of the different characters in the book. So you're not just reading a name; you're seeing who the person is, and brings a little life to the names. And as I was mentioning, also the photographs and sketches. The sketches to me were very valuable. I mean, I was reading the story and I was trying to get an idea of how the buildings were laid out, how Billy made his route into the area where he was finally killed. But I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to give the ending away, so I'm very limited on what I want to say, if you know what I mean. I don't want to give a spoiler. But sketches in the book, when you see them, you can then get more of a visual of how things were laid out, how they worked, what angle the different participants in the final events would have been located. So I think I'm rambling, and I don't mean to, because it's been a while since I've been on camera, and first time I've done a book review, so please forgive me for that. But guys, please go check this out. You won't be disappointed. Again, if you know nothing about Billy the Kid, this is a great introduction to it. But that said, I think any student of Billy the Kid or Western history would love this book, and the details and the facts that are brought forth and the different views that are presented in the book. So anyway, guys, if you can, please go check out Josh Slatten's The Death of Billy the Kid.